So, on this trip, I've been meeting a lot of really fascinating insects and having experiences with them. And here you see a wasp. Uh, but just the other day, I was interacting with a wasp or a hornet who had flown up to Alexis and I, and initially I wanted the wasp to just go away, but after a second, I realized that the wasp was a creature, and that I should give him the respect of any other creature, of any other fellow user of planet Earth, as Alexis said once. And so when I started thinking about that, I viewed the wasp in a new light and was trying to give him what I thought the wasp wanted, which I perceived as my milkshake. I wasn't quite sure if the wasp wanted the milkshake in the end. It kind of seemed like it was mostly curiosity, because I pulled some of the milkshake out and presented it before him, and he took note of it, but then in the end he flew away. But in that interaction, it seemed to me like we had an interaction. There was a moment there, and this goes along well with the scorpions that I've been meeting, because honestly, wasps and scorpions are two insects that I've never really given much credit to as fellow creatures. I just kind of understood them as being mean-spirited, violent sort of creatures that will hurt you for no reason, that are also hard to understand. But along this trip, I've started understanding them a little bit differently. I caught this scorpion in the bathroom, put him in a bottle, and then we walked down the street and released him, because I didn't really think that the hotel was a good spot for him, that he might end up injuring a person or being injured by a person who doesn't want him to exist. And so I'm not sure if this is a small desert scorpion or a bark scorpion. If it was a bark scorpion, that'd be the more dangerous of the two. But took him and released him into a stone fence that I thought would be a safe home for him and for the community. And after I released him, just seeing the natural way that he moved around and explored and looked around at his new environment, really gave me a new feeling of respect. Also, the fact that he wasn't in a defensive position for quite some time after I started interacting with him, touching him with a piece of paper, trying to coax him into the bottle. So yeah, my mind is changing about these animals, and I find that my interactions with other animals too, with other insects, is changing. With the flies, the other day I was drawing a picture, and I felt like the fly was really being a curious sort of character, and wanting to know what exactly was going on with my pen and the paper, and was following my pen around on the paper. Maybe there's a different answer for what was happening, but that's what I thought was happening.
He's not having it.
Not too defensive right now. He's pretty calm, even though I'm fighting with the hard here.
I can tell he's not having it. Poor him.
Oh, see, now he's defensive.